Hi, welcome to Handstands. I know that sounds crazy for most of us because handstands are always so daunting and so challenging, but today we're going to demystify it. We're going to try and make handstands approachable for just about anyone. So if this is your first time, uh, don't worry about it. It's part of the game. It's going to be so cool. You're going to learn some new stuff and you know how to play, how to have a bit of fun. If you're already doing handstands, if you're already, flying high, exploring the friendly skies, this would be a really nice way to try some new transitions, some new entries. And if you're a professional, it's just nice. Little warm up, another way to move and groove and have a bit of fun. So, first things first, what is a handstand? I mean, the idea is your legs all the way straight, hands down, holding yourself up. Well, that's the middle of the handstand. There's always a beginning and there's an end, and that's what we're going to focus on. So anytime that you spend time on the hands, I consider that a handstand with the feet a little off the ground. It can be an inch, it can be 2 inches, it could be all the way up, doesn't matter. So let's get to it. First things first, let's just wake up the hands, So what I like to do is place your hands on the ground, maybe move them around, side to side, front and back. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter orientation or how you want to switch it. The point is just get the hands into the game. I'm gonna do it sideways. I'm gonna face you sideways so you can get a better idea. So I'm just rolling side to side, moving my hands, adding a bit of weight. So maybe switching them. This is a general work, a nice warm-up in general when you're doing any kind of movement, when you're adding a bit of weight into the hands. It's all good. So also what I like to do is I like to flip my hands so the back part of the wrists are on the ground, so it adds a little bit of weight, adds a bit of stretch. Yeah, I can push into my shoulder blades. Notice what that feels like. I know this can be intense. If you don't want to, you can stay perfectly flat on your palms in case you want a new challenge. Why not? So place your hands down, backs of your hands, flip them around, see how that feels, and let that go. So another really nice way I like to wake up is by reversing my palms and getting into a plank. So what I mean by reverse is I'm going to face the fingers backwards and I'm going to push up into a plank and just stay. If this is too much, you can just stay on your knees, totally cool. If you want to be in a plank, give it a shot, hold on for a moment, and just chill. Waking up the hands, pushing into the shoulders, just hanging out. Just a casual 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, come back. Like no big deal. Nothing happened, we're back to it, it's all the same. Shake out your wrists, shake out your hands. Usually when we work in handstands, our wrists take a massive beating. It's part of the game. It's something we build into and we like. It's a way to build into strength, so it's all good. One more thing that we can do to just get warmed up is something very similar that we just did with the planks. You can take a push-up. If that's too much, you don't have to do that. You can put your hands straight and just take maybe 0 to 5 push-ups. In case if you want to take a bit more challenge, flip the hands and just try. Notice what that feels like. If you can take a push-up, if you can't, all good. Don't worry about it. And chill out. Shake out the hands, let it go. Now the upper body is awake. Swing your hands, swing the wings, make a bit of space. Roll the shoulders out. Take your hands up. What I like to do is just pulse the shoulders a bit. So take your hands all the way up. So reach them up to the sky as high as they can go, as high. Pull, 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 pull. And then just pulse the shoulders. You're just pulsing. So engage your stomach. So your back is not rounding, not bending backwards actually. Just pulse, pulse, pulse. Just a few more like that. Just pulsing. Waking up the shoulders, making a bit of space. And let that go. Whew. Shoulders feel alive, legs feel alive. Actually, whole body feels alive. Let's get into a passive squat. So if if a squat is too hard for you, or if you're unable to get into it, roll something under your feet. I'm sorry I don't have any blocks or bolsters or anything to show you with, but just take a towel, roll it up, and put it under your heels. And that will bring the ground up to you. So we're just gonna chill here for a bit, bounce around a little bit, sway side to side. You can move around. You can even take your hand on one leg and just push it open. Find your breath. I always notice it's nice, and switch sides, always notice that whenever I open up my hips, my handstand suddenly get really good. For some reason, the pelvis is so heavy, and getting that control into the pelvis makes such a big difference to what we're gonna do. Maybe it's something you might notice as well. And just one last time, the other way. And let it go. So now we're gonna do something like a Jefferson curl, if you're familiar with what that is. If you're not, from a squat, we're just gonna lean forward. So I'm gonna do this and face you from the side. So as I lean in, I want my legs as close to my chest as possible. Turn the heels in, and just turn all the way down, lengthen out into the hamstrings. And then I sit back down, keeping the heel, my knees and my chest glued, and then I stand back up. So this is the only time they leave each other. They're like a couple who's been together for a very long time and really miss being cuddled. So feel that cuddle of your feet, of your chest, and move around. Maybe adding a bit of fluidity, maybe a bit of pace. You start noticing this starts getting, you start waking up, and you can also place the hands down, add a bit of weight into the hands, come back up, add a bit of weight into the hands, come back up, add a bit of weight, maybe 3 more times, adding a little bit of weight, lean forward and come back, adding a bit of weight, lean forward and come back. Last time, and this time we're gonna hold. So come on your tippy toes, push the ground away, add a bit of weight, just for a sec, and let it go. Whew. Have a seat. That is not easy, that is intense. And acknowledge it, it's part of the game, it's part of what we're doing. But notice how your back body feels, and notice if, that compression of getting your chest and your legs together, how does that feel? I've noticed it's one of the key elements to move into handstands, because it's not about how high you go, it's about, how close you can maintain, you can activate your abs and keep things groovy. So that's, okay, so let's go on to the next. So come to the back of your mat. We're gonna play a little frog hopping game. It's gonna be fun. So find your passive squat. What we're gonna do is, we're gonna put our hands forward a little further than we did earlier, and just take a little bit of a hop forward. So I'm just gonna show you the first time, and then maybe you can join me on the next. So I take my hands forward, I place the weight down, and then I hop an inch or a foot. Doesn't matter. Just hop, sit up, hop, and sit up. When you reach the end of your runway, turn around, have a seat, look up, inhale, exhale, hop, inhale, exhale, hop, inhale, look up, exhale, hop. Flip around, hopefully you're doing this with me. Hopefully you're part of the game and not just watching me be a frog. So find your structure, take an inhale, look up, exhale, hands go out, hop. Try and land as softly as you can, because the ground has feelings too. So inhale, exhale. You don't want to be kicking into the ground. You want to land as lightly as possible. And come back. One last time, the other way, and then we play with something else. So find your squat, inhale, exhale, go up, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and let that go. Whew. Oh, take a moment, take your hands behind, and just push yourself up into a reverse tabletop. Squeeze the bum, push the hips up. This should feel really nice after all that stuff we just did. And let it go. All right, have a seat. So shake out the hands if that was too much for you. Shake out the wrists. Take your wrists, place them, the back parts of the wrist, on your legs, and just take a moment. Just take a moment. So it's kind of like you're getting a bit of a stretch. You're also letting the body just soak in everything that it did. Notice how it felt to just be floaty. Notice how it felt to find yourself in motion. Handstands don't have to be static. They are always in motion. So it's one of those crazy things that just, has a way of working out the more time we spend in it. So awesome. Let's get to it. Okay, so for the next one, we're gonna try and hop, but we're gonna try hopping a little further ahead, like I'll show you the first time. Same movement, no changes. But the only difference is I'm gonna take my hands further out. I'm going to take a bigger hop. And this time when you hop, pull the toes to your face. What I mean by that is like pull the toes in, that activates the hamstrings, activates everything in the feet, in the back, and then you're able to hop forward. So take the hands out, maybe like a shortened downward facing dog, and hop. So that's like halfway to the mat, and then we hop again, the other half. Simple, not too bad. So instead of doing like 3 or 4 hops, we're doing 2 hops. So notice what that looks like. Take the hands out and hop. And maybe you get like a second of air time, maybe a microsecond. It's all good. Get down. Let's go one more time inside. Again, this is a video. If you want more time to play, you can pause. You can always keep at it until it works out. Handstands are something that works out when you practice it more. Just like anything in life, the more time you spend upside down, the more time you get better at being upside down. So inhale, exhale, hop, inhale, exhale, hop, and relax. Take it easy, let it go. Take a moment, come back. Maybe the legs are on fire. That's part of the game. So this is a basic introduction. You can do this a few times. You can keep trying. I'm not giving you a cool down just yet because I expect you to keep playing. I expect you to keep playing around a little bit into these poses, into this hopping forward, and notice how that feels like. How does it improve your handstands if you're already grooving into it? If this is your first time into handstands, how does it feel to find that second of flow time? And that's all that matters. So keep at it, keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next one when we take things a bit more advanced. Yeah? Peace.